Well, Democrats are once again demanding the IRS release President Trump's tax returns, an issue that first began during the 2016 election.
By law, we have a right to ask that the president tax return for 6 years be made available, not just to the committee, but to the American people.
The last 8 presidents have released their tax forms. And we think here that there is a mechanism where these forms could be reviewed in a nonpartisan basis, and then we would have a chance to decide from there what to do with them.
This is really a joke. I mean, this is really getting pretty pathetic. Just the nonstop political and partisan attacks. I mean, why don't we actually govern?
There's a novel idea. Democrats say the American people deserve to see 6 years of the president's tax returns. Do we or not? Gary, what do you think?
Look, I just say put them out there. Yeah, I want to see them. I think the people should see them. And look, this is a partisan political move on the Democrats' part because their only thing they got in their game is to raise taxes and all kinds of other you-know-what. But look, the president needs to go on the offense. It's just his tax returns. What could possibly be in there? So if maybe he didn't pay too much taxes, whoop-de-doo. That's the job of an individual, is use the law to pay less taxes. Simple as that. Just put them out there. Go on the offense. I want to see them.
Yeah, Gary, I'm with you on this. Every president for the last 8 presidents has released it, and you can't say that you can't release under audit because Richard Nixon, of all people, did that. The president himself said in 2016 before the election he would release them. There's no reason for him not to. This is partisan also. There's no mistaking that. They want to find out. That's about the Dems. They want to find out how much he gives to charity. Is he really worth $10 billion so they can embarrass him? Because will the income, does it show the income of a person that's worth $10 billion? Where does all his money come from? This is a fishing expedition by the Democrats, but I do think the president should release his tax returns.
Isn't it a waste of political capital as well, especially after the Mueller reports for the Democrats? You know, they criticize the Republicans and President Trump for trying to waste time and reinitiate this debate on health care. Why waste time on the tax code and work towards 2020 instead?
Look, I think that the worst thing that Democrats can do is continue to harass this president. It makes him whiny. It makes him complain about Democrats, complain about their partisanship. And here's a poll that should make everyone take pause on the left side of the aisle. 54% of the American people think that the Mueller investigation, which we all think really should have taken place, was politically motivated. And that poll has been steady throughout. So if you think Mueller's investigation was politically motivated, what are they going to think about hounding him about his taxes?
But you know, something else that it makes Americans think about, or at least some Americans, me anyway, is what the way the IRS was weaponized during the Obama years.
Exactly.
Remember the woman who was accused of targeting conservatives? I mean, it sort of brings up a lot of ghosts that maybe the Democrats don't want to bring up.
I agree with that, and I agree with what you're saying, that it's a partisan politics that's going on right here. But I also think that the president himself said he'd release them. Just release them. If there's nothing in there, this is going to be so much bigger than the Mueller report, that there was apparently nothing in there, and the Republicans got huge favorability ratings off of this. If the president releases them and there's nothing in there, this kills the Democrats.
And just realize none of this is unexpected. The Democrats are going to be throwing the kitchen sink at him for the next couple of years. They're going to go after every little thing in his life going backwards. They're going to go after the family. They talk about Ivanka and her businesses, Jared and all that stuff. That's where you just got to take the step to get in front of it. And for the life of me, I don't understand why he doesn't put out there. Again, let me repeat, it's just tax returns. The IRS already has their hands on it. If there was something really bad in it, they'd be coming after him left and right. Just do it. And if there's nothing in it, you're in front of it and you're putting another little bogey away.
Although, Gary, to John's point, if he stalls and stalls and stalls and finally, let's say 6 months from now, releases them and there's nothing really bad in them, they look incredibly stupid. So maybe there's some purpose to this.
By the way, just for the record, the IRS examines every president's tax returns. Every president's tax returns. As a matter of policy, that happens every year.